Hey everyone, I'm really excited today. I get an opportunity to interview a really good friend of mine. I've known Mark now for a long time,
Long time.
maybe 15 years, maybe almost 20.
Yeah.
It was 90. When did I start with the bank? 93. So that's 20. I guess is it more than 20 years, Mark? Maybe not. Maybe it was early 2000s. Anyways, um, today we have Mark Shelton. He is a gentleman that has a terrific background. He has a lot of initials after his name. He does some amazing things in the financial service world. And so we're just going to ask him a couple of questions, and anxious to hear from you, Mark. So just kind of introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about you, and I'll ask you 5 questions like I normally do, and then we'll go from there. Now you're just messing with me.
Well, I've got Synergy, I think the name of it here. Sometimes if I'm not using it enough, it'll just shut down the internet system. That had to be it. So I logged
No,
off and went back on.
no problem. So, Mark, just take a couple of minutes. Tell us a little bit about you.
Yeah, my name is Mark Shelton. I'm a financial coach, if you will. I've been in the financial services for many years. And I'm a proud grandfather. I have 3 wonderful granddaughters, 2 adult children, and live here just north of Indianapolis. Been here most of my life. So
Awesome. Yeah, we've known each other now. I think it is almost 20 years. It was early 2000s, and so I have to peek at my. So, Mark, one of the things that I know that you specialize in is helping people with what they call my family bank or a family bank.
mhm.
Could you elaborate on that a little bit? I know that you do some amazing things for people, helping them reduce
Mhm.
debt or accumulate an asset and all that. So, can
Mhm.
you kind of break it down a little bit for us and tell us how that comes
Yeah,
into
I'll give
play
you a
for
broad
people?
brush, Gary. People ask me, what type of work you do, and I said, well, here's an example. We do financial education with solutions. So if I stand up in front of 100 people and I say, hey, everyone who is 100% certain you're going to have a great retirement, please raise your hand. Are you 100% certain you're going to have a great retirement? Please raise your hand. What do you think the amount of people out of 100, Gary, raise their hand?
Well,
Especially now.
I'm sure there's always a couple of smart Alex that will, one or two, but
Right.
I'm guessing it's a pretty low number.
You're right. It's definitely not the majority, whatever that number is. So what we want to do is start with education. Your family bank is a financial strategy, much like you may have heard of Dave Ramsey, Financial Peace, Snowball Your Debt, etc. Well, let me give you an example. If I asked people how to lose weight, we all know we move more and eat less. Pretty simple, but it's hard to do. If it works for you, fantastic. When it comes to debt, it's similar. Spend less, save more. It's simple, but it's hard to do. So your family bank takes the guesswork out of it. We use guarantees. It's a financial strategy, mostly from the wealthy have used in the past. We brought it down to the masses. So we look at your financial in, your financial out, your payments, your expenses. We rearrange those, and it's not an easy concept strategy. It takes a little bit of time to look at it, but that's where we're the experts. We're going to hold your hand, and at the end of the day, our goal is to get you out of debt in half the time. Normally 9 years or less, including mortgage and business debt if you're a business owner, on the same money that you're currently spending, the same cash flow. So again, that's our goal, is to prepare a big picture report, we call it, to get you out of debt in half the time. Student loans, car loans, even mortgages, business debt, on the same money you're currently spending.
Awesome. Now, is this just for individuals or business owners, or what do you think?
It'll work for everyone if they will work the system. And again, it's similar. Like we're going to give you a step-by-step program, a financial roadmap, if you will. And yes, it's going to work for a single parent. It's going to work for people who are middle income. If you think about it, if you're an extremely high incomer, let's say you're an emergency room doctor making $400,000 a year, you can mess up several times and still come out at the other end okay. But if you're middle America and you're halfway into your career, if you will, and you're starting to see the light at the tunnel for retirement, we're going to help you get there much faster, safer, and more predictable. Again, it works for everyone if they will work it.
Obviously, with these uncertain times, is there a lot of risk in doing something like this? People are obviously sensitive right now because the stock market has been the roller coaster here the last 4 weeks.
Right, a great question. No, that's where we take the guesswork out of it. We take the risk out of it. Our strategy is based on guarantees, 2% return on your money. The history of the S&P, everyone wants to say it's 8 to 10, 12%, but in reality, it's much less than that. And here's why. When the market goes up, people get excited, they buy into it. The market goes down, they get panicked, they sell out of it. We should be doing the exact opposite. When the market goes up, we should be selling, taking a profit. Market's going down, you should be putting money into it over a period of time, again, long term. So with your family bank, it takes all the guesswork out of it. We provide a big picture report based on guarantees. It's a really nice presentation, easy to understand, and it'll show you when you'll be out of debt. Here's a thought. If it gets you out of debt, let's say you're currently on a plan for 20 years, and we get you out of debt in half the time, 10 years, that leaves us 10 years of no payments that you have to invest your money. So we're going to have a lot more money for you at retirement on a lot safer basis.
And when you talk about debt, are we just talking about credit cards and car payments, or?
Pretty much whatever debt that you have. Student debt is obviously a huge topic these days. Consumer debt, credit cards. And here's a thought too. My son was talking to me. He goes, "Hey, I got a credit card offer, 0 interest." And I got to thinking about that. I'm like, wow, they must really like you. 0 interest. Statistically, think about that. If you transfer your balance from 8, 12, 16% to 0, that's a positive thing. But those credit card companies statistically know once they transfer your balance, statistically a lot of those are not going to be paying off the balance. So now they're going to, a year down the road, now you're paying 12%. So rather than consolidate your debt, we're going to eliminate your debt.
Wow. Now, if you showed that report, you're able to put a report together for somebody just like that can really kind of show them how much of an improvement and how much money they could save over time.
Absolutely. What we do, just real quickly, we'll get your data, your account. We don't need account numbers. We just need balances, types of accounts, credit card, open-end loans, etc. We don't want any personal social security numbers, anything like that. And we take that data and we put it into the report. Your inflows, we call it lazy money. We're looking for lazy money. Are you putting money into a 401k plan above the match? Are you paying $200 on a $100 minimum payment? We call that lazy money. So we're going to bring that lazy money over, again, on the same money that you're currently spending, and put that into the big picture report. And in this example, we got this couple, early 60s, from 15 years to 4.3 years on the same money they're currently spending.
Wow.
Yeah. We're really proud of it. We can help a lot of people. Half the United States really is probably our target.
So if somebody wanted to get some information from you and maybe talk to you about this, how would they reach out to you?
Well, I've got my website. You can reach me through Facebook page, but my name is Mark Shelton. The website is Abundant Bound. Give you my card. You can take a look at it.
Nice.
Take your picture of that.
And I'll post it down at the bottom for everybody, but that's awesome.
Sounds good. There is no cost, obligation for this report. We're not going to charge you. The only investment at that point is about 30 minutes of your time so we can explain our process. If it's not for you, more than likely you know someone who needs to see this information. So it's just information that we share, and you say, you know what, thanks, but this is not for me, but my cousin, my father, my relative, next door neighbor might want to take a look at this. Fantastic.
Awesome. Well, Mark, like I said, I've known you for a while, and I know you're very passionate about helping people with these family banks, and you're passionate about your grandkids, and I also know you're a little passionate about kind of a side hustle that you do, and I thought we'd take a minute or two and just chat about that because, with the events that are going on around the world right now, I think there's a lot of people sitting at home going, I'm not sure how I'm going to create a paycheck this week, or I'm not really sure what the work environment is going to look like moving forward. I heard there was 70,000 new unemployed last week, and I'm pretty confident that's going to grow each week now for a while until the bottom hits here. And so just kind of tell us why, a busy guy in your field, consulting and whatnot, would add a side hustle.
Well, I've always been interested in health. I've exercised every day. I try to eat well. I'm not perfect at it, but I've educated myself on proteins, fats, carbs, etc. I'm doing, I think, what most people want to do is get healthier, stay healthier. And there's a lot of noise out there in the industry, but probably 5-6 years ago, I ran across a company that has a lot of science behind it, a lot of proven statistics on the aging process, what causes it. Can we slow that down? And they statistically, through science, they can. So I look at it as interior health and exterior health. Often your exterior is a reflection of your interior. So, whether it's exercise, build muscle, lose weight, looking better, feeling better. The part for the business side is in our formula for your family bank. There's 3 parts. People usually struggle with spending, with debt, or with income. Because if we can increase your income, the debt and the spending part, the formula works. So one of the ways to increase your income is through a home-based business. You think right now, and it's a crisis. If you own the Subway at the retail mall, you're probably closed down. So you spent thousands and thousands of dollars locking in a lease agreement, first of all, for 5 years probably. Your employees, they can't come in, customers can't come in. So you have a lot of risk around your neck, if you will, and it's going to take down some people. A home-based business, I look at 2 things: risk and reward, supply and demand. So with the home-based business I'm involved in, I did a lot of research. It's publicly traded. It's backed by facts, etc. It's improved my health greatly. There's not a lot of costs to get involved, but the upside is tremendous. There's hundreds, thousands of testimonies that people have, got involved for health, for wealth, time value, time with the family, etc. And there's a lot of success stories with this company. So I'm very helpful. I want to share it with them, share the information with people, let them make an informed decision. And I think everyone realistically needs a plan B. Because if you get, in this crisis we're going through right now, health and income, job, etc., we all realize how quickly things can change.
Yep. Yeah, this is scary times, when people start looking at their job being eliminated, or even, the doctors and nurses, they're very susceptible to the disease because they're involved in it, and that can knock them off their feet. And so I don't know if anybody's going to go untouched on this deal. I just know having a secondary income, having a plan B income, made all the difference for Carol and I to be able to relax a little bit going through this. And so, well, Mark, I appreciate your time today, and we're going to wrap up, and I'll post your information down here if anybody wants to reach out to you and get more info. That would be terrific. And do you have any last thing you want to share before we sign off?
Yeah, I would say much like your doctor, this is all personal information. We're not judging anybody. We want to help people. We need their information. Again, the report's free. There's no cost obligation. And at that point, you're in control. If you say this is great, it's not for me, we part friends. If you say, you know what, this is pretty interesting, I've never seen this before, probably haven't. And then at that point, you make a decision what the next step is, and we can help you. So thanks, Gary. Appreciate your time and information.
Awesome. Well, thank you, everybody, for tuning in. And we're going to do a lot of these where we share with great people like Mark and the powerful things that they're doing to help people in a couple different ways. And so thank you all very much. This is Gary A. Einerson signing off, and you have a great day.
Thank you.